Mr. Regling, the first question comes from my Greek colleague based in Athens. He wants to know, actually, why the ESM is not directly recapitalizing the Greek banks. You could give cash to Greek banks, problem is solved, stability is there.
Well, we have refinanced the Greek banks. Out of the overall Greek program, 50 billion euro have gone via the Greek government to the Greek banks. And that has restructured and recapitalized the 4 largest Greek banks. So the problem in that sense has been solved. What you may be alluding to and what we are not able to do this year is the so-called direct bank recapitalization, which we may be allowed to do next year. This instrument may be created once the European Central Bank acts as a common supervisor in the euro area. Then this possibility might exist. At the moment, we have to do it indirectly. Money goes to the government, earmarked for the banks. That has happened.
International Monetary Fund is saying that actually there's a second bailout, a second haircut needed for Greece.
Well, that's under discussion, but not so clear. At the moment, we have the program running, and it runs till the middle of 2014. It's fully financed, assuming that Greece meets fully conditionality. Then we will continue to disperse, like the IMF. And there's a commitment from the euro area that if Greece continues to implement reforms, and if there's additional financing needed after the end of the current program, so after the end of middle of next year, then additional assistance will be provided, but it's now far too early to say in which form.
Somehow it's an illusion to say actually that the Greek debt is sustainable. So actually there are quite some Euro critics around Europe saying it would be better for everyone that Greece actually reintroduce the drachma.
Well, I think that would not be to the advantage of the Greek population. And that's also why the Greek government very courageously implements reforms, reduces the fiscal deficit in order to stay inside the euro area. They wouldn't do that if they were not convinced that this is in the interest of the Greek population. I share that view. I think it would be very, very costly for a country to leave the euro area.
Let's move to nearby Cyprus. We have this outcry coming from the Cyprus president calling in help for this second largest bank, the Bank of Cyprus. What are your possibilities to give help to Cyprus?
Well, the program, the financial assistance program with Cyprus was agreed in March. It's working up to now. Cyprus implements the necessary reforms on the fiscal side, structural reforms, restructuring of the banking system. This includes recapitalizing the Bank of Cyprus, restructuring the entire banking system. The president was part of the agreement. It's not easy. It's not easy for the population. It's a very complex program because the banking sector was too large for the economy. So the downsizing of such a big, huge banking sector is not easy. Controls of capital movements have to be used on a temporary basis. All that is a very complex operation, but so far it unfolds the way it was anticipated.
The perspective of the Cyprus government is that this program, this help program, is underfinanced.
No, that's not true. It's fully financed. There's an agreement with the Cypriot government, and we are just starting. It's a 3-year program. And at the moment, I don't see at all that it's underfinanced.